Hello there.
Well, welcome to Your In Depth, where we walk through and break down our favorite fictional universes. Today, we're resuming our coverage of the Clone Wars Season 2, covering episodes 3 and 4 today. With me, as usual, is Evan, who is eating Oreo balls as Evie is behind him staring. So it's kind of a funny sight to see.
What the heck do you want, you freak? Quit staring. You want to fight? Are you money or something? Didn't think so.
She's just watching him. I like how she just I like how she just watches you as you verbally assault her. Anyway.
Someone's got to.
Yeah, so we're going to be covering the Clone Wars once again today. We took an unintentional holiday break, which honestly I'm okay with. Yeah, I think we do decently well at keeping a schedule, and I don't really think that the schedule probably even matters, to be honest. But it's nice to be in the routine of doing that. Before we get started, I want to just quickly say we have launched a YouTube channel. And as this episode is live on Monday, the YouTube channel will be slowly releasing all the previous episodes that we've had. I tried to continue doing it, and I didn't tell you this, Evan. I uploaded 10 episodes today. I went through and video edited and got 10 podcast episodes ready. And then I got home and I did another one, and I'm like, dope, I'm going to upload it. I tried, and YouTube told me I reached my daily upload limit, which apparently is 10. So I can't do anything more right now, but I didn't realize that was a thing. Either way, we got that. Go check that out. We'll be putting different excerpts, shorts, and maybe bonus content. Who knows? But you'll have another platform to interact with us on, because unlike on here, each episode you can comment on. So it's like, there's, I think, greater potential for conversation there. So that's fun. But check that out. Link will be in the description. Anyway, so yeah, check out the YouTube channel. I don't know where I'm going to cut that in. We went probably 5 minutes off topic a little bit. So if you want to hear what we actually talked about, patron exclusive. But otherwise, we are going to actually get started here. So, starting off with the Clone Wars Season 2, Episode 3. It is... I didn't write down the title of the episode. What is it?
So the title for episode 3 is called Children of the Force.
Okay. Yeah.
And the little brief description that Disney Plus gives it is Cad Bane is given a new destructive mission.
Mm-hmm. And our little quote is, the first step to correcting a mistake is patience.
Yeah, and so before we get into the episode... I want to remind everybody that this episode 3 of Season 2, is part of the 3-episode arc of episodes 1, 2, and 3 for Season 2. It's kind of the conclusion to this little 3-episode arc going on.
Right.
Just as a reminder for the listeners.
Yeah, so just a quick recap in the previous episodes. Cad Bane infiltrated the Jedi Council to try to steal a holocron, which has the list of some Force-sensitive children that the Emperor has employed him to get. And then he, after obtaining that, searched out Jedi Master Bala Rapal, who's a Rodian. If you listen to our Book of Boba Fett podcast episode, we had talked about that. But a Rodian, and like who can open it and gain the coordinates and whatever. So Cad Bane got away. No, he didn't. Wait.
No, so
where did the most recent episode end? Because I remember he got away initially, but then
so the first episode he gets to holocron. The second episode he kidnaps the Jedi to trying to get it to open, but they end up killing that Jedi while torturing him. And he gets Anakin to open the holocron, because it was open the hologram and your Padawan lives, refuse, and she'll die. And then because they're on a separatist ship, that Cad Bane has been given basically like temporarily to get to Jedi and get to unlock the holocron and all that kind of stuff. But the clones that Anakin and Ahsoka lead, they end up destroying the ship, and it kind of leaves off with us seeing a clone trooper. If I'm not mistaken, his name was Denel. Denal. We saw him shoot Cad Bane and kill him, and then jump onto this little separatist little ship to get off of that frigate before it blew up and return to the Resolute, which is Anakin's Jedi cruiser. And Anakin, it kind of left off with Anakin saying something along the lines of like, it's weird. I know he's dead, but I can still like sense Cad Bane's presence. And then it kind of cut.
Oh.
The episode ended with the clone troopers walking off that little ship and Anakin and Ahsoka going to talk to Admiral Yularen.
Yeah, okay. See, my recollection was not in the same place. I thought that I was thinking of the episode we're on now. Like, that's where my confusion was. I don't recall what I said. It ended where I thought we were, but I don't even think that was accurate, so I don't know. But we get our... go ahead. Are you going to say something before we start?
No, I mean, basically, the recap that the episode gives is basically what happened in the last two episodes, which I kind of just said. If you want to go over, if you have it written down, what the narrator says.
I got it written down. I'll go through them either way. My goal one day is to do a perfect Tom Kane impersonation and do this whole thing like actually accurate, but I'm probably not going to be able to do that. Anyway, it says, a thief hunted. In a daring assault, Anakin Skywalker and his Padawan Ahsoka boarded the warship of cunning bounty hunter Cad Bane to recover a stolen holocron containing a list of the galaxy's Force-sensitive children and future Jedi Knights. After a desperate chase and duel with the villain, Anakin and his troops defeated Bane, but were forced to evacuate his doomed vessel without the holocron. And then we start up the scene. We kind of get a slow revisit to the scene from the last episode, but from a different viewing angle. The last one being Anakin talking to Admiral Yularen. We see a different angle to that, and we see that Rex calls Anakin over as we do see a one clone limp away. Ahsoka tries to...
That one clone is Denel for specifics, I guess,
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ahsoka tries stopping Denel, the clone that is limping. She kind of goes up after him, like checking up on him kind of thing. Meanwhile, Anakin and Rex see some green blood on the floor of the transport. Anakin kind of pieces it together. He runs out and he's like, oh crap, where's this going? Ahsoka stops the clone, then realizes it isn't a clone, it's Cad Bane.
Yeah.
He attacks Ahsoka and then runs off.
Yeah,
Anakin
he gets
chases him.
Yeah, because he runs over to one of the fighters there in the the Jedi cruiser, knocking out a couple like flight crew, like some of the flight crew that try and stop him. And as he's taking off, Anakin kind of like tries to jump on the fighter to get him out, punches the helmet off, sees that it's Cad Bane, but Cad Bane knocks him off of the fighter as he's getting ready to leave the Resolute.
Yeah. But yeah, Anakin chases him, tries to attack, but Cad escapes in a ship, jumping into hyperspace, getting out of there and escaping.
Yeah, because he tells Admiral Yularen to lock down the hyperspace rings.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen quick enough.
He doesn't get to it quick enough, and Cad Bane gets out of there.
Yep. And so they inform the Jedi Council of this. They discuss what to do, as he is now after the Force-sensitive children. He's got the information he needs, and he's alive,
Yeah.
We see Darth Sidious talk to Cad Bane on a hologram, saying that he needs test subjects. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan, Anakin, Yoda, and Mace Windu meditate and use the Force to try to figure out where Cad Bane is headed. They end up settling on Naboo.
Yeah, and so when the council does, or the four of them kind of do this meditation, in this instance, with this meditation, it goes pretty quickly, but the Jedi Council, in the past, they have done like a mass meditation of the Jedi Council where they've gone like days upon days of nonstop meditation. and like that's how they kind of look into the Force, see potential futures and that kind of thing. But this one goes pretty quickly, and if I'm not mistaken, each of the 4 of them sees a different vision of potential, places. And so, for specifics, real quick, Yoda sees the planet of Rhodia, which is the Rhodians.
Rhodians, yeah.
Yeah. And Obi-Wan kind of confirms that he sees that as well. Mace Windu says an ocean planet, home to Natalans.
Netherlands?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that specifically. Then Anakin sees Naboo as, one of the other places. And then there was one more. Was that 4? I don't know, but
either way.
Yeah, each of them sees like a little bit of a different. Like some of them see the similar, and some of them see something a little different. But they come to the conclusion of the 4 different locations where Cad Bane's going to be going, and they piece that together and get ready to go and try and protect these children.
Yeah, we do cut to Cad Bane on some planet, acting as if he's a Jedi. He abducts a child of the same. Well,
this is Rhodia. Yeah. On the planet of Rhodia.
I like the progression of my notes too, because Book of Boba Fett notes I wrote today, and I finally figured out that their name's Rhodians, right? Then I go back to this one, which I wrote a couple days ago, and I wrote down abducting a child of the same race as Greedo and Ropal. Like I didn't know the name yet, so I'm just referring to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rhodians. Obi-Wan enters. Kind of some time has passed, a little bit of time, and the mother, the Rhodian, is in a trance. Kind of realized what's happened. Like, you're here to, I already gave my kid to the Jedi. You don't need to be here. And they're like, well, we're the Jedi. What? And she kind of realizes what's happened. Cad Bane takes off with the child. We then cut to Anakin and Ahsoka entering on Naboo, and Ahsoka takes lead. Cad Bane enters.
Unfortunately, we have to see more Gungans.
Yeah, we do. But Cad Bane enters under the cover of night on Naboo as a Gungan puts her child to bed. He comes in and approaches to find a stuffed animal. Ahsoka jumps out. Cad flies off, but Anakin is after him, and they capture him. Ahsoka tells the Gungan that her daughter is safe now, and I hope that Gungan isn't past the risk of SIDS. I know that was horrible, but I don't like Gungans. Even a Gungan baby. I want to kick it.
That thing looks so derpy and gross.
I know. It's like a little frog you just want to punt across the road.
Just cook it up and have some frog legs.
Heck yeah, I'd eat a Gungan. It probably tastes like fish, honestly. They're sea people. I like seafood. I'd eat a Gungan. Anyway.
At least they'd be useful for something.
Exactly.
But yeah, like you're saying, Anakin and Ahsoka capture Cad Bane there on Naboo.
Right. Yep.
And take him to a Jedi cruiser where Obi-Wan and Mace Windu are then interrogating him. Asking who he's working for, what his overall goal is, all that kind of stuff.
Also, if you look over and I'm sniffing my microphone, don't think I'm stupid. To the listener, I got a new, that's fair. I got a new mic. It's an XLR setup. I got a Blue Ember, and it smells so freaking new. It is such a nice smell. I love it, dude. Just the smell alone. I don't even care about, this is why I got it. Anyway, sorry. So Mace and Obi-Wan interrogate Cad Bane. Ahsoka suggests that they all use the Force to make him talk, sway his mind, but them all together, because the Jedi mind tricks don't work on weak-minded individuals. They work on weak-minded individuals, but he is strong. Willed, strong-minded, whatever. So amplifying on the Jedi's end can maybe break him. But they do say that it may destroy his mind.
Basically turning him into a vegetable.
Yeah. But they do it anyway, and Cad Bane ends up submitting.
Yeah, and this is one instance where, in my opinion, the Jedi overstepped their bounds. Because we see it a lot more as the Clone Wars progress. We'll see it a lot more where they overstep and do things that I would say are very questionable for the Jedi Code. And I definitely think this is one of them where they're like, we're going to potentially destroy this guy's mind. Like, it doesn't matter that he's a criminal. That part doesn't matter, you know? Like, they're going to destroy someone's mind just to get the information. It's like they're kind of turning to, like, the ends justify the means, which is a very not Jedi thing to do.
It's not a Jedi thing, no.
Yeah. And so this is definitely, in my opinion, a spot where they overstep their boundaries. They're pushing the boundaries, and it's just like, this is, even though it's one of specific event, it's like this is kind of like a dark day for the Jedi type thing, you know?
But he does submit. Anakin then informs the Chancellor of their progress, which I really wish they figured out things early. Cad Bane gives Obi-Wan and Mace the coordinates for the children. We see Anakin and Ahsoka go and see the Chancellor. Anakin talks to Palpatine and kind of informs him a bit of what's going on. We then cut to Mustafar. A hologram Darth Sidious looks over the two children he still has and talks of experimenting on them to make Force-sensitive spies for him. A medical droid type thing says that the children might not make it, and Sidious just says it's worth the risk as he doesn't lose anything either way.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, at this point, because he's wanting to get, Force-sensitive spies, at this point he doesn't have them. So if, these experiments don't work, then he's not, like, he didn't have them in the first place, so he's not losing anything. There's no risk for him. It's all reward if it works out.
Yeah, really. And especially from his point of view.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that he really would lose here is potentially raising these children in the dark side of the Force and having to wait for them to grow up.
Yeah, like lost potential sort of thing, but not.
Yeah, but even then, at that point, he would be having to wait like years upon years for them to grow up and start to mature and train them in the dark side. It'd take a long time. But if these experiments work, he might be able to accelerate that that process.
Yeah. Cad Bane leads Obi-Wan and Mace to the holocron, leads them to a trap where they are fighting off turrets and making a break for it. He makes a break for it, sorry. And he flies off. Anakin and Ahsoka look into the terminal on Cad Bane's ship because they're still at, anyway, they're taking a look at his where he's been. They're looking at his coordinates and what's been
basically
going on,
looking at like
he's wiped them though.
Basically, like trying to look at his navigation system to see where, like, what destination he punched in last, more or less.
Yeah, and they see like some different areas that he's been. They end up deducing that he must have taken the children to Mustafar because of there's like ash underneath, and then like where it's at, and it's like that's a mining planet, but it's way out of his way. Kind of, they figure it out. We cut back to Obi-Wan. He gets the holocron, and they take off as the little base they were in blows up. They were kind of in like an asteroid type base. Anakin and Ahsoka take off. They approach Mustafar. As Darth Sidious is about to experiment on the children, he gets notified that a starship approaches. He then orders the place just be destroyed, left to sink in the lava.
Yeah, tells the droid to turn off the gravity generators.
And Anakin and Ahsoka are in the facility, hear the babies crying, so they take off trying to find them. The two nurse droid things grab the babies and hide. Then the droids attack Anakin and Ahsoka as they come into the room. They're still holding the children as they're doing this. The whole facility is falling apart. There's a lot of commotion kind of going on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, we literally see, like, the ground starts to, like, break because, like, the shields that this facility had to protect from the heat of the lava and whatnot are turned off, and so, the metal is weakening, it's becoming compromised, and we literally see this facility, like, splitting into different pieces just because, the metal can't hold any longer.
Yeah. But Ahsoka saves one child, and then eventually Anakin saves the other. And they are trying to get out. And they're like, I think they say something like, "Where's R2 when you need him?"
Yeah.
And he like opens the door for him. He's right there.
It's like he knows. It's like he's the main character or something. But yeah, they make their way back onto the Twilight Anakin's ship. With the children, and they take off, leaving the platform. They're leaving the facility to just be destroyed and fall into the lava.
Yep. And then we cut to Coruscant. Anakin and Ahsoka give an update to the council. They say the list of the Force sensitives is still intact and no signs are showing that it was copied. But Yoda says the future of all Jedi is uncertain. And then it ends the episode.
Yeah, and right before it ends, too, they kind of mention, like, Anakin's like, well, at least we still have Cad Bane, and how the whole council's like, actually, here's the thing about that. Yeah.
But yeah, so we are kind of at our mid-episode, in between two episodes, intermission type thing, so here's a perfect place for our sponsor breaks. This episode is brought to you by Cad Bane's babysitting service. Need a night out? Contact the Caddy Daddy today and get the freedom you desire. So contact the Rad Cad to book your night of peace. And don't worry, your child will be kept toasty warm. And resuming, we are going to cover episode 4 of season 2 of the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so episode 4 is titled Senate Spy. The little description there is Padme investigates a separatist conspiracy in the Senate. So in other words, it's one of the boring episodes where you don't get to see the clones.
Damn. But the quote we get says, "A true heart should never be doubted."
Yeah, I disagree with that. With that. Like... that sounds like bad advice.
Okay. Well, anyway, and then we get our little setup by the narrator guy. Says, treachery in the Senate. The Jedi Council suspects that Senator Rush Clovis is secretly taking part in a separatist conspiracy. But to find out what the senator from Scipio? Scipio? Do you know? Someplace is up to. Okay.
Yeah, because it's Senator Russ Clovis is his name.
But it says to find out what the senator from, and I'm wondering the pronunciation of that.
Scipio, yeah.
Scipio, okay. Is up to. The council will need a spy of its own. Meanwhile, Jedi Anakin Skywalker has been away from Coruscant on a lengthy tour of duty, leading the clone army. Now Anakin returns for a long-awaited reunion with his wife, Padme Amidala. And then we open scene. We enter in Anakin reuniting with Padme. They both send off 3PO. And Anakin has brought home dinner.
I'm just saying, why do they gotta send 3PO away? Like, he was there at their wedding. I don't know, but it's just like, if they're like specifically waiting for 3PO to leave before even just like hugging each other.
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's probably just being like, let's have complete privacy. Because even though it's freaking 3PO, I think it's just a mental thing, you know?
Hey, I'm just saying, I am not convinced that 3PO was not leaking secrets during the rebellion to Darth Vader, okay? I'm not convinced. Like, that dude is a secret That dude is a secretive little thingamajig. I'm betting he was leaking locations and whatnot to the Empire, to Darth Vader, and that's how they find Hoth and all these other places that the rebels are. I'm betting it's 3PO. I'm betting he's like this long-term spy for Darth Vader, and so like he can keep a secret. Like they don't need to just send him away and just be jerks to 3PO.
I think it's more of like a mental thing, though, wanting to be with each other and nobody else.
Well, 3PO is basically Anakin, okay?
It's not the same. Either way. So they start talking a bit. They get a bit flirty, you know. They're talking to each other, being very, very flirty, and they cuddle up next to one another, and it transitions scenes. The Jedi Council is discussing having Padme spy on Senator Clovis. We then cut back to Anakin, who they've been trying to get a hold of about his speeder's extended warranty, but they are trying to get a hold of him. And he decides to finally listen to the call. He goes and meets up with Mace, Yoda, and Obi-Wan, who discuss getting Anakin to convince Padme to spy on Clovis.
Again,
Anakin approaches...
The Jedi Council overstepping its bounds, doing very not Jedi things. Just saying.
Yeah.
I love the Clone Wars. I love the era, but the Jedi are doing some sketchy
Well, Anakin approaches Padme about the spying. It's just a lot of cutting back and forth. It's pretty fast paced. Anakin leaks the information about the conspiracy Clovis is involved in, kind of like in conversation, trying to get her to help. He kind of, he says a little too much.
So,
yeah.
Real quick, because I didn't fast forward the episode, so I'm slightly behind where you're at on that. And I just noticed something here as they're telling Anakin about like, oh, we want Senator Amidala to spy on him, and Mace Windu says like, well, they were close friends, and Anakin kind of gets that little bit of jealousy going on, and Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of gives a little bit of a look like, what's going on here or something, but it's more of like along the lines of like, Obi-Wan knows about Anakin and Padme's relationship, and he's just keeping silent. That dirty dog.
Yeah, he's not blind to it. He's for sure.
Yeah, and the way, because Mace Windu kind of pauses too before he says they were close friends. So I'm betting Mace Windu knows something about Anakin and Padme as well. And obviously Yoda knows because he's Yoda. But
but no, Mace, he was referring to Clovis and Padme, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
So he like kind of pauses mid-sentence as he's telling Anakin this, and it just makes me think that Mace Windu knows. He might not know that they're married, but he knows something's up.
But Padme gets upset at Anakin, telling her she can't spy on Clovis, and in a spiteful way, she accepts the spy job. We cut to Padme having dinner with Clovis, who he just looks like a Thalmor from Skyrim. Just gotta say, he's a Thalmor. He looks like a Thalmor from Skyrim. One of those like the estate or whatever. What where was that? What mission or quest was that?
I don't know, dude.
Either way, he looks like one of those high elf like Thalmor, Anyway. He says he's going on a trip to talk to the Trade Federation and invites Padme along for her friendship. Obviously, there's still some, feelings there. They arrive, and Padme continues just to play Clovis, like 100%. She's like flirting with him, trying to sway him, all this stuff. Anakin is with them and serving as a guard. He's like, he's disguised. Clovis and the Guppy, the Trade Federation dude, the Nemoidian, which actually is a specific one, isn't it?
Cato Nemoidia?
It's not, the Guppy. What's his name?
Newt Gunray.
That's Newt Gunray? This one is?
Huh, where are you at?
Where they're at the big palace getting ready to talk to the Trade Federation. That is Newt Gunray?
Senator Dodd.
Dodd. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I heard Guppy, and I kind of didn't pick up where you were at.
I noticed you had to skip ahead a little bit, so we weren't on the same page.
I got a little distracted. Sorry, watching Anakin be jealous. Sorry, my bad.
I see.
But no, they're on Catanemoidia, which is actually a moon of Nemoidia, or a planet close to something. I don't know. It's like the capital planet for the Guppies, and they have like another planet or two that they live on as well.
Gotcha.
With their stripper droids.
But Clovis and the Guppy go away to meet, and it shows them discussing a place to build a droid factory and to raise war profit and so on. So he's for sure dirty. Padme, meanwhile, is in her room, decides to go for a walk. She approaches their meeting and interrupts them.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Padme is wearing the skimpiest of outfits in this initial scene here.
Fairly revealing, for sure.
It's covering her tatas, but she has like her full stomach open, and it's definitely like
saying that,
making them prominent and whatnot. And she just looks very skimpy and not appropriate for a kids' TV show.
I would say, yeah. But anyway, the Guppy and Buggy talk of discovering Clovis's weakness, and that they plan to poison her, and be the only one to have the antidote and use that as leverage. Anakin, meanwhile, is performing maintenance on the ship outside. Padme comes down the stairs to meet Clovis, and again, back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah.
So apologies if there's a little bit of confusion, but it's just back and forth. The Guppy poisons Padme through a drink, and they head to dinner. At dinner, Padme doesn't feel too well. Padme and Clovis are on a private tour. They leave dinner and start to do that, and they're near where that meeting took place in the beginning. Padme says she needs some water, and so Clovis goes to get her water, and Padme goes over to look at the hologram containing the data regarding the droid factory and all that stuff that we saw earlier. She guesses that the password, she starts guessing the password and eventually says Padme, and it accepts. She radios Anakin and removes the chip from this hologram board. In comes Clovis, just about catching her. And she kind of plays it off by throwing a huge hug to him. In comes Anakin, sees this, gets a little irritated, but then she shows him the chip and she's like, "Get it, come on!" And so he uses the Force to get it. And Clovis doesn't see. Padme
talks. Little sneaky sneaks.
It is. Padme talks to Clovis a little bit before just fainting. Clovis then takes Padme to her room and then searches for a medical droid. He talks to the Guppy, or Dodd, downstairs, who tells him that Padme is a spy. He goes and confirms that theory. Confronting Padme, she tells him that she's on to him. Anakin runs in. She's laying on her bed, by the way, and just kind of out of it because poison. Anakin runs in and asks what's wrong with Padme. Clovis says that Lot Dodd, the Guppy, poisoned her.
Yeah, the dirty little whatchamajig.
Stupid Guppy. Yeah. Anakin says he'll go talk to Lot Dodd. They talk a tiny bit, but Clovis is in love with Padme, so he helps in order to save her. Because he knows that this is going to destroy things with the Trade Federation. He's probably going to get killed because of it, but he loves Padme, so it's worth it.
Yeah.
They run into the Guppies, who are reluctant to let Clovis leave. He pulls a gun, Clovis does, and demands the antidote, which he is given. Then Anakin gets into the ship with Padme and just leaves Clovis behind.
Yeah, just kind of leaves him to whatever punishment the Guppies have for him.
But Anakin gives Padme the antidote, and the scene ends with droids armed approaching Clovis and Lot Dodd saying, "We need to talk." And it just ends the episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have to say, though, dude, I think that this is probably the Clone Wars episode, or just pretty well just top ranking of all of Star Wars, of the most sexual tension. It was kind of almost an uncomfortable episode. I'm not gonna lie.
I find this episode so boring, honestly. I didn't talk very much for that episode. Like, there's not a lot really going on that needs to be talked about. Like,
no,
in depth or anything like that, and it's just boring in my opinion. Like, there's not.
It is a rather uneventful episode. Like, it's kind of almost filler, because it's like, okay, so there's this conspiracy going on here. How does that contribute to the overall plot? It doesn't really. Yeah. Okay.
It's just kind of one of those few episodes they have in the Clone Wars TV show that's like, oh, we see a little bit of the stuff going on with the Senate. Cool.
Yeah. I don't like those episodes. I don't care about the Senate.
I will say, though, the next 6 episodes, pretty solid episodes.
Okay.
Pretty solid episodes.
All right.
And honestly, a lot of the episodes to come are pretty good ones for season 2.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And one of my favorite episodes, which we will be covering next time for the Clone Wars, at least, the next time we do a Clone Wars coverage, is called Landing at Point Rain. It's one of my favorite episodes of all of Clone Wars. It's a pretty solid one.
I see. Cool.
So,
well, join us next time in covering that. Well, next time will be Lord of the Rings, and then it'll be Book of Boba Fett, and then it'll be that. But if you're just here for the Clone Wars, then see you next time in a week.
Yeah. So our next episode will be part 1 of Return of the King. For those that are listening to all episodes. For those listening for specifically the Clone Wars, it will be, like you said, same time next week for our coverage of episodes 5 and 6 of season 2. And we have our goals as always: 25 downloads, or sorry, not downloads, 25 Apple reviews for. I'm just doing terrible because we're recording a couple episodes in a row here tonight. And I have been messing up names and stuff. It's been bad. Anyways, 25 Apple reviews will be a live stream coverage of, whatever couple episodes, whether it be Clone Wars or whatever part of a movie, or maybe even Book of Boba Fett, if we reach it while we're still covering that. Live stream coverage of whatever we're on at that time. Where you guys can interact with us, ask questions, give comments as we go through and break down. And then, like always, every 1,000 downloads, and when your in-depth YouTube gets going, we get some episodes on there along with those views. Every 1,000 will be live stream, or not. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Will be
blooper reel.
Blooper reel. Thank you.
Check out the link in the description. See all the other links.
I am messing this up terribly. I apologize.
It's okay. Let's give Evan a break. We'll see you next time.
My head hurts. Peace.
Deuces.